What if I told you that you only needed about 3.75 kilogram of feed, which is about 3,500 naira worth of feed, to achieve 2.9 to 3 kg broiler weight in 35 days, which is 5 weeks? It is possible. In this video, I'll be breaking down the quantity of feed you need to raise your broilers to 35 days, which is 5 weeks, and achieve 2.9 to 3 kg broiler weight within that 35 days. It is a thing of joy when you see how massive your broiler chicken are as they are growing, especially at week 3, week 4, week 5, because that is a way to add much value or much profit to your broiler production. Now, how do you achieve this massive broiler weight within these 35 days? Now, this is against the understanding I had some years back that before you can achieve 2 kg broiler weight, you need about 2 times that weight of in terms of feed to be able to achieve that. That is, for that 2 kg broiler weight, I'll be needing about 4 kilogram of feed to achieve that. But I discovered during the course of my raising broiler that you don't really need up to that amount of feed to achieve that 2 kg if that's what you are aiming for at disposal. But I've also been getting 3 kg, 3.2, 2.9, 2.7, 2.8 kg by day 35, that is by 5 weeks. Now, I dispose my best normally by day 35, that is 5 weeks, because if I can hit 3 kg by day 35, why am I still keeping my best? Because that is actually where the maximum profit lies, because the more your broiler chicken grows, the more feed they consume, and the less of that feed they convert to weight for you. And that is not really what every broiler farmer wants. Now, for raising your broilers, there are certain numbers you need to understand or have in your diary. Now, first of those number is 0.167 kilogram of feed. That is the first week of your broilers alive. They'll be needing about 0.67 to 0.18 kilogram of feed per bed. Knowing that this is what your broiler needs within this first week, this can actually help you to budget for feed for your broiler. Now, depending on the number of birds you want to raise, you can actually multiply this number by the number of birds you want to raise, being it 25, which is half carton, 50, which is full carton, as the case may be. We are using 100 broiler as a case study. Since each broilers consume about 0.18 kilogram of feed, 100 broilers will be consuming about 18 kilogram of feed. Now, remember, a bag of feed in the country today, as at the time of recording this video, is 25 kilogram. That's one bag of feed in the country. Now, that is for 18 kilogram, because if you go to buy 18 kilogram of feed, they may not be able to sell that to you. So instead, we assume one bag within that for that day 1 to day 7. Knowing this, I now know the amount of starter feed I need to buy for my broiler chicks, because you actually need to start your birds with super starter crumble or starter feed. Now, achieving this massive broiler weight is easy. All you need to do is to first source your day-old chicks from a reputable hatchery, and then using a very good vendor, trusted vendor. That's what I mean. Because if you stock the wrong breed, you may not be able to achieve this, because there are breeds that can actually give you this massive weight within 5-6 weeks. You get this your 3 kg and move on. But there are some you need to, by the time they are hitting after 6 weeks, that's when you'll be hitting that 3 kg. But for me, the best breed for this game has always been the Cup 500 and the Rostrio 8. This will give you massive weight within this 5 weeks. Stocking quality day-old chicks, employing good management practices, and all of that, it will still be possible for you not to achieve your 3 kg in 35 days. The major thing you need to take care of after sourcing your quality day-old chicks from a reputable hatchery is feed. This is very, very important because it takes up to 70-75% of your production cost. You don't need to joke with it. Now, what I always advise people is to go for professional feed when it comes to raising your broilers. Now, in achieving this 3 kg broiler weight, which is our target weight at disposal, you need to make use of professional feed. Now, what I've been using, you can see in most of my videos, that the professional feed I've been using is been giving me a very good result. It's also very important the method which you employ in feeding your birds. It plays a whole lot in achieving this maximum weight. What do I mean by the method? You don't need to just dump the feed in there, go about your daily activities and assume that the birds will be happy, eat the feed and then gain that maximum weight. No. You need to give them attention. Giving them attention, I mean, you need to feed them a libitum. You feed them in bits. What do I mean by a libitum? You feed them 24/7 because especially during those first few weeks, they need to have access to feed, water 24/7, 24 hours a day. That means you need to make provision for lighting for them so that they will be able to see the feed, see the feeder, where the feed is, see the drinkers. Especially if you are using the nipple drinkers or the bed drinkers, whichever drinker you are using, they need to have light bright enough for them to see this stuff so that they will be able to eat 24/7. Avoid dump feeding. This is very, very important. Because after eating that feed for some time, especially if you are using tray feeder for your day-old chicks, even chicks feeder, the flip feeder. So you see they will put inside that tray feeder, they will put inside the feed. Now after eating from that feed for some time, they will get tired of that feed. But by the time you feed them in bits, you put a little what they can consume within first 2 to 3 hours, they empty it. When you introduce new feed, you see how they will rush down as if, oh, this is so fresh, let's eat. Even those that have eaten already, they will still rush down and eat. So that's the benefit of feeding in bits. So not practicing dump feeding. So you need to follow this feeding method to achieve this 3 kg body weight. This is very crucial in achieving this 3 kg body weight. Now, another thing you need to know is water is very, very important. You don't need to joke with it. You may give the best feed to your chicks. You may employ the best management practices. If you don't give them clean water at all times, cool drinking water at all times, you may not be able to achieve that broiler weight you aim for. So it's necessary you give them this clean water in order to maximize their weight at disposal. That is by that day 35. Any water you cannot drink. If you've been watching my video, you hear me make mention of this almost all the time. Any water you cannot drink, do not give to your chicks, do not give to your birds. Never. Don't do that. Ensure you are able to drink such water before giving it to them. It doesn't mean you should treat your water before giving it to them. I don't mean that. If you are giving them borehole water, ensure the borehole is properly dug before you can allow them have access to that water. Now, for the second week, one broiler is going to consume about 0.375 kilogram to 0.4 kilogram. Remember, this is we don't want to stick to one value. I always stick to the upper end. In this case, I stick to the 0.4 kilogram per bed by week 2. That is from day 8 till day 14. Now, multiplying this by the number of birds we want to raise, that is 100 birds, we'll have 40 kilogram of feed for those 100 birds to consume within week 2. This is about 2 bags. Remember, though it's 50 kilogram, that will be 2 bags, but we assume 2 bags of feed because they will not be able to sell 40 kilogram of feed for you. So you buy 2 bags within this 2 weeks, because though the leftover, which is about 10 kilogram, will take you into that 3rd week. At week 3, which is day 15 to day 21, each broiler chick is to consume 0.65 to 0.75 kilogram per bed. Now, multiplying this by the number of birds we are raising, which is 100, it gives us 75 kilogram, which is about 3 bags of feed. Then by week 4, which is day 22 to day 28, each broiler chick is to consume about 0.95 kilogram to 1 kilogram of feed. Now, multiplying this by the number of birds we are raising, in this case 100, this will give us about 100 kilogram of feed, which is 4 bags by week 4. So 100 birds will be consuming 4 bags by week 4. So you need to make provision for this. Now, there is something very important you need to note during this period, especially from day 26. That is when I normally observe this. That is switching. No, you must know how to switch your feed from starter to finisher or from super starter to finisher. This is very crucial because they are already used to the feed you have been feeding them with. That is the super starter crumble. Introducing finisher feed 100% is not proper. It's not an ideal thing to do. The way to switch feed is this. By that day 26, the way I normally practice it, I introduce 25% of the new feed, which is the finisher feed, mixed with 75% of the super starter crumble and give it to them. By day 27, I introduce 50% of the finisher feed and 50% of the super starter crumble feed that they've been on. Now, by day 28, I introduce 75% of the new feed, that is the finisher feed, and then 25% of the super starter crumble. By day 29, they move fully 100% into finisher feed. This is how you switch your feed from starter to finisher. In this way, they don't have any need not to eat because they may refuse that feed for some hours when you introduce it 100% by that day 28. They may, by that day 28, day 29, they may refuse eating that feed for some time. Though after a while they will pick, but I don't want, at that time, it's very precious to me. I don't want to waste it. So I use this method to introduce new feed to my birds. Now, it's also very important at times you say, okay, you want to switch to another brand of feed. You can also use this method to switch to a different brand of feed for your broiler chicken. Now, by week 5, which is our final week that we'll be disposing our birds, each bird will be consuming about 1.2 to 1.3 kilogram of feed. But we'll take the extreme, which is the 1.3 kilogram. Then multiplying this by the number of birds we are raising, this could be 50, this could be 1,000, this could be 500. But for this video, we are using 100. Now multiplying that will give us about 130 kilogram of feed, which is about 5.5 bags. Now remember, they may not be able to sell 5.5 bags to you. In this case, we may just round it up to 6 bags. Now, remember, by this week 5, your birds are, you've already introduced your birds to finisher feed. That is from that day 26, gradually till they enter this week 5, which is day 29 to day 35. They are on this finisher feed fully. Now, in this case, the amount of finisher feed you should buy should be about 6 bags. But what I do from this calculation now, you see the amount of finisher feed you should buy will be about 6 bags, but I normally buy 7 bags because since I'll be introducing this finisher feed to them starting from that day 26, so I need to buy 1 extra bag of that finisher feed and reduce the number of feed that I will give to my birds by that week 4 by that 1 bag. From the whole calculation now, you see you only need about 16 bags of feed to raise your birds till 35 days. That is at disposal. Now, if you follow all the steps, the procedure I itemized in this video, you are sure of hitting 2.93 kg at disposal. Now, make use of professional feed to feed your bird. You'll be happy you did. If you find this video helpful, kindly hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification icon, like and comment in the comment section below, as this will do a whole lot for us in helping us to grow our channel and reach a larger audience. Thank you.